kind of funny how you have a podcast that's focused on kind of the stuff which isn't typically talked about for adventure or travel. It adds a level of humility to the experience. In your eyes, what does that humility, what does that almost element of surprise do to the travel experience?
I think first of all, it gives you like a good story and sets you apart from what everybody else is doing. And so, people go to a location and they do the same thing. They see the same places. They take the same pictures. And what they often don't get is a real authentic, transformative experience. And that's what we've found came from these stories. It's when people are challenged, when people are put under the pressure, under the pump, that they really learn something about themselves, or they learn how much stronger they were, or they just learned how they could just brush something off. And so we found that over the years, some of the best stories that people told were the ones where things didn't go right. And they're the ones that they look back on and retold and could eventually hopefully laugh if they weren't too bad. And so, and for us, that's always been our favorite stories to hear and tell as well. So sort of seemed like a no-brainer. And it was different, as Christine said. It wasn't just the same old stuff that people were doing and telling I went here and I did this and everything was perfect.
Yeah, I think also just with the age of social media, not to name and shame Instagram because we are on there and we use it a lot, but, people want to go and they see people in these gorgeous backgrounds and they want to go replicate these photos, especially with places like Bali where we live part-time out of the year. People want to go and they want the rice terrace photo and they want the Bali swings photo. And so they go there with those in mind. And when you go there with that purpose of travel, the country and the environment and the community end up becoming just like a prop or background for your photo opportunity, basically. And people aren't interacting with the community, with the environment. And that's really problematic because that's the whole point of travel. Like for us, our best experiences have come when we're like looking really not very good and we're sweaty and we're taking public transportation and we're talking to locals and we're getting that really off the beaten track experience. And if you just go there and try to look gorgeous in a beautiful ball gown, and on a swing or whatever, then you're not going to have those same experiences as if you just go and show up and see what happens and just enjoy the experience for what it is rather than what kind of photo op you can get out of it.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that the culture of I need to post this or I need to take a photo of this to get X amount of likes, how do you think that's perverted the experience of travel?
Oh, 100%. It's the single most thing that's probably seen a decline in authentic travel and seen the rise in like glamour travel and people traveling with hat bags and things like that, and people trying to replicate that, and they see these self-made Instagram models or stars and things like that, and they think that it's easy, and really it's timing, good luck, and they're one in a million, the people who actually make it through, and they focus all their attention on, as Christine said, the wrong reason, and the actual cultural experience and the exchange that you get from travel becomes secondary to a good photo opportunity. So 100% I'd say that the rise in social media has seen a decline in authentic travel.
Yeah, and I don't want to shame people who travel, in that way, because we do use Instagram and we do set up photos and everything. And I understand when you see those photos and you see somebody on this gorgeous view and they're looking beautiful and they have a really cute hat or whatever, you have this feeling oh, that person probably feels incredible sitting there. It's they have this gorgeous view, they look lovely, everything's perfect. But then when you go there and you have to wait 2 hours in line in the sun to get the Photoshop, and you have to pay $30 to sit on the swing or whatever, then you're missing out on other experiences. Those 2 hours that you're waiting in line to get this one photo, you could be out doing this other incredible experience, biking, to a different part of the island or a different area, or doing anything else. And I feel bad for people who get stuck in this loop of oh, I just want to go and tick off my list of this photo and this photo and this photo, because travel has so much more to offer. And I feel like Instagram really has had a negative impact in that way. And people just keep going to the same places because on your feed, you see the exact same places. And they're not getting off the beaten track and seeing other places. And it can be kind of depressing.
Yeah. I mean, it has been good. It has been a tool that's helped increase tourism and helped sort of awareness in certain locations. but it has also oversaturated content in locations as well, which has created that. And it's also that oversaturation has also created over-tourism, which has, had its own separate problems in terms of environmental impact and personal impact for communities as well. So, there's some flow-on effects that often don't get heard of when it comes to over-tourism.